Hey Kaijus, welcome back to my Monday movie review. So, over the weekend, we actually had no big plans. So I told Chris, I was like, well, hey, do you want to go catch a movie? I mean, we didn't have any plans and we were just cleaning the house, which it definitely needed to be cleaned, but I wanted to do something fun. So we either wanted to see Dolittle or we wanted to see 1917. We were both leaning towards 1917, but when I checked the movie times, like Alamo pretty much, like 1917 just really had like the front row seatings left. And I was like, oh, I don't really want to, even though Alamo, like, their front row seating isn't like as terrible as like AMC's. But still, like a movie of that type, I really wanted to like be back and enjoy it. From what I've heard, it's a pretty awesome movie. So Dolittle actually didn't have a lot of tickets bought in that. They had it in the small theater, and we were able to get our tickets pretty easily. And probably because the critics have been slamming this movie really hard. The worst reviewed movie since Cats. So, and a lot of like one of the reviews were like pretty much like a lot of these critics were ranking it. And mind you, I haven't seen the latest Cats movie, so I don't really know, but how bad it is or what the critics think is bad. So I kind of went into this movie kind of like with no expectations, and plus I was like, it's Robert Downey Jr. I mean, like, how bad can it be? And so with that mindset, I went in. This will be a very non-spoilery review. It wasn't bad. Like, sometimes, like, critics, like, overblast these movies, but, like, honestly, like, I really didn't see was it the most original story? No. Was it kooky in some places? It was a little kooky in some places. Like, Chris was like, one scene, he was like, it really didn't make sense, but I mean, it is what it is, and it was fine. And yeah, so I mean, it was fine. Like, it was a good little family, like, it's a good movie to take your kids to. Like I said, the story wasn't really original, but I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, it was actually like kind of pleasant. Robert Downey Jr., he does a fine job. I mean, there's no problem with him. There's like really no problem with anybody. It does kind of take you out of like the reality of like, because like the accents is like, it's very much like a British, like set in like Great Britain. But it's almost like in its own alternate universe, kind of like, because like the British ship didn't really look like a British, like, like from that era. So it was just like, so my husband kind of said it he's like, I feel like this is kind of steampunky a little bit, like the ship design, one of the ships. And yeah, so, and like, I think they kind of like kind of envisioned the queen kind of like Queen Victoria, and like even like the king, the husband, he kind of looked like Queen Victoria's husband, but it's not Queen Victoria. They never mentioned what queen it was. So yeah, I think it's kind of like in its own little world. And yeah, it was definitely a cute story. The animals were all fun. Like nowadays, I think the cost of like using real animals is just so high nowadays, with like how much they have to like pay the trainers and the animals and all that stuff. And plus, I mean, could you imagine like how much more a pain in the butt it would be to have like a polar bear, a gorilla, a giraffe, a parrot, like squirrels, mice, like all on one like scene. I mean, probably most movies they wouldn't have like a polar bear with like a prey animal, and training them is difficult. So the CGI animals solve that problem, and I mean, they look realistic. I mean, some of the things that they do aren't really realistic, but I mean, it is what it is. It's Dolittle. But yeah, I mean, there wasn't any like standout people. I mean, there were some animals I liked a little bit better. I definitely liked the polar bear that was always cold. I'm like, I'm not a polar bear, but I'm always cold. And like the squirrel was hilarious. And yeah, I mean, oh, and the little boy, going back to like human characters, the little boy was adorable. I mean, he was, I mean, I shouldn't call him a little boy. I think he was kind of like around maybe 12, 13 years old, and if I had to like place an age on him. And the kid was pretty good. I mean, there is a humanity side to the story, and then there's like the fun animal side of the story, and I think it did well. So I can't say that this is the world's best movie. Like, I'm definitely not going to go back and see it in theaters, and I definitely probably won't buy it. So yeah, so that's just how it was for me. It was a good, enjoyable hour and a half, I would say. But it is what it is, and I, you know, watched it, and I'll move on with my life. It was a good Saturday well spent. Just another thing, what was the other thing? It was in my mind, but then I forgot it. Oh, rating. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 kaiju bites. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't like the best movie ever. So yeah, so 3.5 out of 5 kaiju bites. And I'll see you next Monday with another review. And please like and subscribe and share a video. It would greatly appreciate all the support. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.